What's going on, guys? It's James with Handi Fitness. We're here at Mike BOYLES Strength and Conditioning, and today we have a very special guest. I'm here joined by Muji Karim. Muji was a standout athlete at the University of New Hampshire in football. Now, what's kind of your ultimate goal or end goal, if you had to say, is your ultimate goal the Paralympics or?
Yeah, well, I had the Paralympics in Rio in 2016. I had set my sights on that. I only had my running blades and my sprinting blades for a year, so it was probably it was a stretch or like a really daunting goal to reach for. But if you're not reaching for the sky, then what are you reaching for? So I was trying to do it, and I still am disappointed that I wasn't, honestly, because I'd ran fast enough. I wasn't consistent enough. I didn't know how to block out all the variables of the crowd and the other runners and things like that. So I didn't perform as well as I did, and my blade broke also when I was there. So, but that's not an excuse. I wasn't ready mentally at the time. But last year I was a big improvement from 2017 was a big improvement from 2016, where I actually medaled at the U.S. Nationals. I got bronze in the 200-meter final, so I number 3 in the U.S. now in the 200 meters. But I got one bronze medal too many. I'm not.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, it's a huge goal for me, and it shows the progress that I've made, because you go from getting last my first year to getting to being number 3. So the progress is there. I see the progression, but my ultimate goal is to win every race that I'm in. I'm not a huge fan of moral victories. I'm not a huge fan of second place, not a huge fan of third place. It's just not for me. If I sat here and told you, if I came in here and trained every day and was like, I'm training to medal, to me that's selling myself short. I'm training to win every race that I'm in. I think I can win every race that I'm in, and now my mechanics and my efficiency with the blades has caught up to my mental of winning. So I'm good enough with the blades now, so where I can let my athleticism sort of take over while I'm running, and I think that's when I'll be at my best. But yeah, my goal this year is to go to Arizona on June 15th, I believe it is, and to win a gold medal in 200 meters, and then do the same next year. And then ultimate goal is to run in Tokyo in the 2020 Olympics and win. I'm not in it for a silver medal. I go making the team and traveling to Japan.
It's all just part of the process.
And doing all that. That's great. I mean, I'd be a great thing. That'd be a great motivator, just to be able to be on the team and make it there and have this experience. But if I'm traveling somewhere, I'd rather travel with my mom and my brother and my son. You know what I mean? We can go do stuff that way. If I want to go to Japan to sightsee,
it's a business
I'll
trip.
do it with them. Yeah, but if my goal right now, and I'll say it flat out, is to go to Japan in 2020 and win the gold medal. That's unapologetic about that, and that's what it is.
That's awesome. I absolutely love that attitude, because I mean, especially in today's society where we get participation medals. It's like, no, what is that?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like you don't get a participation medal for living your life. I mean, you live your life. You go out and you live it. Nobody gives you a medal for just being here. And you have to do something. You have to do more. You have to do. And then people with challenges like myself and you and myself, we have to find different ways. We have to find adaptive ways to keep ourselves motivated, to keep that drive going, to keep thing. But for me as well, it's just I'm trying to change this perception of what people with injuries like myself should or shouldn't be capable of doing. and so I work every day to sort of change that perception and shatter that mold.
That's awesome, and I honestly think you're doing a fantastic job at that. I mean, because only for myself, just speaking for myself, I remember when I started coming here to Boyles, you know, I saw on Mike's Instagram you running with a sled, and I'm like, who the hell is that guy? Really, okay, what's my excuse now? Like, you know, and then I came in here and I'm like, Ken, who is that? And he's like, oh, that's Muji. I'm like, I gotta meet Muji, and that was a year ago.
Yeah.
But you inspire me and everybody that I highlight on the Handicapable Fitness page. Like, it's crazy because so many people think, you know, oh, I do it to inspire, you know, people, which I do. But at the same time, when I'm finding all these materials and meeting with people like yourself, it's like I've met so many people and talked to so many different people with different challenges that I sit there and I say, well, okay, well, shoot, if they can do it, like, then what's my excuse? I mean, I have my own drive and my own motivations, but there's days where I don't feel like, you know.
Well, no question about it. Like what you said to me, Kenny told me about you, and I started, you know, we started following each other on some social media outlets and stuff like that. But for you, watching the progress that you've made, and talking to Ken about, you know, some of the progressions and successes that you've had since you've been here, that was one of my motivations in the workout that I did last week after I talked to you, you know, because I was having a bad day. I was having back was aching a little bit. My son was being a little brat, but you know, you look for different things and different motivations. So it's like a community of us, of these people, and it's not even. It's. I mean, before I had my accident, I was a completely able-bodied, you know, really good Division I athlete. I still had problems every day. I still had issues. I still had things that bothered me. I still had bad days. So to say I'm going to get in an accident and lose my legs and my hand and then not have bad, you know, it's just this unrealistic thing. But you it's a community of people that you draw your energy from, and in anything you're doing, strength is in numbers. So the more people that you can meet, more people that you can find that inspire you,
build you up.
It helps, and it's for me something that I saw the other day is I heard you say that you don't do it for credit, or you don't do anything, you know, to be this huge inspirational figure. For me, what I've learned is that I'm trying to let my light shine so bright that it can help somebody else out of the dark, and if that's the purpose, that's the calling, if that's whatever it is that we spoke about earlier, then that's what it is. I'm going to do things in prosthetics as a bilateral AKBK amputee that people have never seen, things that people have never done, people have never seen, you know, and it's shattering that mold that you lose your legs, you have to be in a wheelchair. You have to be confined to this slow down life. You can't do this, you can't do that. You know, the other day I'm walking out of the store, I have my son on my shoulders, I'm carrying 2 bags and stuff like that, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. You know, well, why is this guy with no legs walking with a kid on his shoulders and holding, you know, 2 and 3 bags from, I think we were at either Whole Foods or Wegmans or whatever it was. But it's people seeing that, and people not used to seeing it. Like, because if you're ignorant to something, you don't know. Like, before I was in my accident, I didn't know anything about prosthetics, didn't know anything about burn survivors, and now I know all of my friends either are burned, most of my friends either are burned or missing a limb. So it's one of those things now that I was
handy
sort of
capable, right?
Exactly, completely capable, and I think for me it's almost, I want to get it to a point where I turn my handicap into an asset, and that's honestly where I think it can go. And people, if you go through something and you have that mindset that you know, I'm not just that I'm gonna get up and walk, not that I'm just gonna live a okay, you know, subpar life, but that I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run fast. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be one of the fastest dudes in the world. I'm gonna be the fastest dude in the world. Like that. Those are the thoughts that I have in my head when doubt creeps in, or when anything's ever creeped in. And I'll just hit on this, is that I've always been a really confident guy, and some people would say, you know, cocky or whatever. And I just don't believe in this notion that it's cool to put yourself down, and it's considered distasteful, or out of context to be confident, to be cocky, to believe in yourself. Because when I was in the hospital at 3 a.m. in the morning, when I'm waking up with tubes everywhere and I'm wishing that I was dead and I didn't wake up, the only thing that got me through it was that I'm a confident dude, and I said, if anybody can do this, I can. So I'm unapologetic about my confidence, and I don't. It's kept me alive. My confidence kept me alive. So I'm not gonna apologize if it rubs somebody the wrong way.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it goes back to that old saying, you know, if you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you?
Exactly.
And I just have two more questions, and then we can wrap this up. Going back to, you know, you were saying you were with your son the other day at the store and all this stuff, and you had all these people looking at you.
Yeah.
You know, do you experience that a lot, where you know, people kind of like look at you kind of weird?
Well, yeah, and I did at first, and initially I was self-conscious of you know, my walking with prosthetics in my hand and all this stuff. And I remember it was 90 degrees the summer I got out of the hospital, and I'm walking around with a sweater, a hoodie, and sweatpants on.
Yep.
And it was just because I was embarrassed or just, you know, not comfortable with who I was. And I just remember sitting there on a bench just sweating, and like, what am I doing? Like, why? What? And so it was a growing process. It was a process. But then, I mean, I don't care. I was in Miami a couple months ago with like pretty much just like a Speedo on, just running around, you know, one of the bars down there. So
we'll put the picture of that right in there. We'll slide that in there for you.
Try to keep it PG. No, but like I've come completely full circle on it. And with me, I used to get offended when people asked stuff or when people looked at me funny. But now I use it as an opportunity to educate somebody, to talk to them. And I love when kids come up to me. They'll be like, "Look, he has robot legs," and a lot of times their parents will you know, reprimand them and be like, "Hey, don't do that." And I'm like, "No, I mean, if he's never seen it before, that's what they are." And I'll go in and I'll explain to him that my real legs got hurt really bad, so they gave me these so I could still walk around in them, and all they care about is how cool they look.
Yeah.
And you know, and so using that as a platform to educate people, as opposed to viewing it as people staring or people making fun of you, is something that it took time for me to get to that point, but I've been there for years now, and I actually welcome questions and welcome curiosity if you do it in a polite way. You come up talking crazy, then I'm gonna talk crazy back.
Exactly. I mean, I kind of feel the same way about myself.
Yeah.
You know, people say, well, you know, I have this question. I'm like, ask it. There's literally no question off topic, because I remember when I was a teenager, and you know, I was at the mall or something, and there was somebody in a wheelchair that was ahead of me.
Yeah.
And somebody ran up to open the door, and the person in the wheelchair started flipping out, going, "I can do it myself," you know. And to me, I was like, that's right then and there. I was like, that's a bad example, because going forward, that person is going to remember that, and they're not going to open the door next time. And you, as the person in the wheelchair, or you with the challenge, is going to say, "Oh, that person's not doing this for me because they see my disability." Well, and it's not that. It's that. So I'm with you. I welcome that.
Yeah.
If you have a question, come up and ask me. There's literally nothing off top. I mean, I'll even make, you know, a joke about myself and make light of it to make others feel comfortable. You know.
I mean, I've been joking about it ever since it happened. I mean, I'm I mean, I consider myself pretty funny. Not many other people probably do, but I've been cracking jokes. I was telling them first time I got my legs, I had white feet. They were white legs, and I was like, I told them, I was like, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I'm a black dude, so these white feet are a little off. And I told my therapist, I said, as soon as I get my black feet, I'm gonna be more athletic. I'll be out running around, doing backflips, doing all that. But it's just keeping that. To me, awesome. if you ain't laughing, you're crying. That's right. It's like if you find light and everything. And I joke about stuff. I joked about my hand looking like a steak tip when I first saw it, and I almost bit it, and blah blah blah. And I like it. I like my stuff, medium rare, so there's still a little blood everywhere, so it looked like a steak, and I almost bit it. But then it just makes it. You're not making fun of yourself to make somebody else feel comfortable. You're just literally having fun, and it's okay to have fun, even if you have severe and crazy trauma and crazy challenges. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to be yourself, and that to me was a huge thing.
I couldn't agree more. And then I'm just gonna wrap it up with this. What advice would you give somebody, whether it's somebody with a challenge or just an able-bodied person as well, that because we live in such a society where we're so wrapped up in what other people think, and I think we all miss out on going for our dreams and doing these things, but especially in the challenge community.
Yeah, well, there's a different level of freedom that comes from not caring. When you stop caring about what people think of you, watch how much cooler you become to yourself. And you become cool to yourself, that's when everybody else starts liking you. To me, the advice I would give is just to get up and start doing something. I've gotten a lot of the relationships and opportunities that I've had were because somebody saw me at a gym busting my ass. Somebody saw me, at a track trying to figure out how to run. Somebody saw me with these blades on, still not even knowing how to run, but trying, and that's inspiring to people, and that's when you help yourself, people want to help you, and for me, I sort of developed my whole Muji Blades thing. It's just a symbol of my story from going from my parents being told, or my mother being told that I was most likely going to die, to then being told that I would never walk. To walking, to running competitively, to running and being one of the fastest guys in the world in my classification. So it's doing something, ignoring all the negative noise, believing in yourself, and just going after it.
Just do your job.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't have to have a challenge. You don't have anything. It's just, for me, my thing is the whole concept for me. My Muji Blades thing is a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of hope to me, which rejects this notion that because you're different or because you're challenged that you can't excel at whatever you choose to do. And for me, that's everybody. That's all inclusive.
That's awesome. Now, if people want to get in contact with you or find out more about you, read your story even deeper, see some of your crazy videos, like everybody says, like everybody that's into working out says oh, you got to go see the Rock's video. I'm like, no, you got to go see Muji's video. You haven't worked out since you've seen him pull this sled. If they wanna get in contact with you or just learn more about you, how do they do that?
Yeah, I have my website is mujiblades.com. So MUJIBLADES.com, and then it's I have my sort of athletic page is mujiblades.com or Muji Blades on Instagram, and then my everyday sort of stuff, which is basically pictures of my son. It's MK Special 12, so that's Instagram as well, and Twitter and all that is all Muji Blades, and you can. If you want to find the most information, just go to mujiblades.com, and it has all the videos, all of the the whole story and everything like that. Probably the best way to sort of get a whole thing, and how to get in contact with me is all that information.
Awesome, and we'll make sure to put all that stuff below, just so people can go back and you know, dig deeper into it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. I think it's really going to help a ton of people, and I can't thank you enough for making it happen. And also, thank you to Mike BOYLES for helping us do this.
Yeah, and I'll comment on that too. That the guys here, you know, have been amazing. You know,
Absolutely.
starting with Mike, Mike and Bob, and then I work specifically with Marco and Kevin and Scotty and Kenny, and you know, all of the guys that some of the interns, I guess, that came through. It was just coming here since 2015. I've you know, this is part of the reason I've gotten to the point where I am today, because of coming here and the atmosphere that they provide and the knowledge that they have has helped me a ton.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I remember when I started coming here a year ago, and I go back and I look at old videos, and you know, I'm like, man, now I'm pushing this ball cart up hills. Like, I must have really pissed Ken off that day, because he's like, okay, we're going outside with this thing. I'm like, what? Hold on a second.
But then you find yourself doing things that you never thought you were capable of, and that's why that Handi capable, it fits perfect. Like, you literally start doing things that you didn't know you could do. When you believe in yourself and people believe in you, the sky is it's not even a limit. When you have self-belief and you have that drive and you have people that believe in you,
like the people here.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike BOYLES.
Exactly.
Thank you guys again for watching, and
thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.